This weekend, Bournemouth fans make the second longest trip of any Premier League fan base, facing newly promoted Sunderland. It's a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff in the northeast, and the Cherries, they're going to be smarting from their relatively disappointing draw against West Ham. But look, so will the Black Cats as well, who dropped points in an under-par performance at Fulham. Before the season began, we were probably looking at this match thinking it's one where Bournemouth should really be getting 3 points. But now, as the season's transpired, I think I'll be happy with a point. Sunderland have been excellent, and Tom, we need to talk about it. This ain't going to be easy, is it?
No, definitely not, mate. I think the frustration with the West Ham one was brought on even more by the fact that you go, if we had won that a point at Sunderland, it'd be great.
Yeah.
4 points out of them two. But now it seems difficult because I think, as you say, I think a lot of people and a lot of teams this season, similar to when we went to Leeds, I think a lot of teams will be going Leeds, Sunderland away, get a point, get out. They're going to be tricky places to go. And obviously the form of Sunderland as well means it's not just a tricky place to go. They're a bloody good team.
Yeah. Welcome to the opposition then. 30 minutes of stats, facts, trivia, and a hell of a lot more as Cherries travel up to play the Black Cats. And there are a couple of things you can do, Sunderland fans, if you're new to this channel.
Oh yeah, make sure you like it because you like us so much. Click the bell and then you see when all the videos are out after the game and before it and stuff. And then, yeah, click the subscribe button as well because that is the most important.
Look, apparently Newcastle fans like to think that they're the big dogs of the North East, but maybe you can prove us wrong because by liking the video, that helps us in the algorithm and hopefully the video can score better. So it's on you to make that happen, all right? But there's plenty of content on the way and there are reasons why you might want to tune in. So obviously this is the preview, but straight after the game, Tom?
Yeah, we'll have a fan reaction after. See what spirits we're in. Then the match day vlog will come out, everything all around our away day, and then we'll do the second look, dissect it a little bit more, and then the away day review as well, mate, see how they get on, because we've been playing them for a while, so I don't think we've ever done an away day review on Sunderland.
We haven't.
And I think that's the only team that we haven't done in the league, so that's going to be an interesting one. Have you been before?
I haven't.
No, I didn't think you had. I've been a couple of times and yeah, I enjoy it. So we'll see what you think.
And I'm sure they are enjoying this season so far. We're looking at the league table. If you're listening to the pod, Bournemouth are in 8th position with 19 points. If you told someone 12 games in that you're below Palace and Sunderland, you'd probably be worried. But in the same breath, if you also said that you're above Liverpool, Man United and Spurs, happy days. Doing
and
right.
Newcastle, mentioned that we're both above Newcastle, they'll like that.
We're hanging in there, aren't we?
We are. I think we spoke after our point and went, we could, results go the other way, we'll probably drop to about 10th. But they went all right for us. I mean, it depends how you look at it, because it now means Everton are right on our backs, because obviously they got a good result against Man U. But yeah, we definitely would have taken it, mate. We're in a decent spot, and it's that thing, there's been a few points like last weekend where you go, imagine if we're just won them. But no, we're in a really good place, mate, as are Sunderland.
As you can see, we're at the QP. We are in the courtroom specifically, and this is your home on an AFC Bournemouth match day. Look, we've got a couple of home games coming up in a row after Sunderland, haven't we? We've got a Tuesday nighter.
Tuesday night, which is now 7:30, I believe, against Everton, and then the Saturday 3 o'clock against Chelsea. So a couple of home games, so getting here before, getting here after, and enjoy it, because we had a few shots after that last minute point against West Ham, thanks to Molly, who won the £100 on the raffle.
Fair play to
I
you,
get a few shots in, I thought, lovely stuff.
It's home, of course, of the £10 roast if you show that you're subscribed to Back of the Net. Other than that, it's £12. If you want 2 meats, it's 14. 12 if you're a subscriber. And look, if you want to hire the QP for any event if you want a reception, some kind of party, an event, a group meeting, whatever, then it's free of charge if you show that you're subscribed to Back of the Net. So why not get involved? All the details about the QP is on the link in the description. So, mate, let's talk about Sunderland. This is how you do the Premier League.
Yes.
I mean, they have taken to it like a duck to water, but they fully attacked it. And it's fair to say they've reaped the rewards. Before all that transfer business, even during it, I've got to say, I was a bit sceptical and I thought, my goodness, this is going to be hard to, put all these players together and make them gel straight away. But it's clear they have. Sometimes that tactic can work the other way around. I was thinking if they got relegated, that would be severe for them in terms of the money that they're splashing out. But my God, it certainly paid off for them. And they've been doing so well. Yeah. Their northeast counterparts haven't been too happy watching their success.
No, they haven't, mate. I think they've got each other soon, so that'll be a really good one to watch. But yeah, they've I don't know. It's one of them things. I wonder if a lot of people are looking back to, when Forest first come up after having so long of not being in the Premier League, and they went mad with the signings and they struggled. And obviously they've ended up bouncing from that and doing fine. But so it was a little bit of that, and they're going to change too much. But fair play to them. I almost feel like there's a few teams like Burnley who have come up, and you've had Sheffield United, and there was a period of West Brom, and they're kind of like bounce. And with Sunderland, it's like they've had so long out of it, when everyone thought they should be in the Premier League for the size of the club. Now they've got it. They've gone, we're not missing this opportunity. We are staying here, and we're going to have a right crack at it. Yeah,
you're right. I think with the teams that tend to go up and down, there's almost an inevitability and a pessimism, and maybe being a little bit more reserved with some transfer activity.
If we do go, we can go again. But
for them, they don't have that.
Let's just go for it. Let's go for it. And yeah, I mean, they had some really good players anyway, but they've strengthened in so many areas, and they just, I don't know, the coach has really impressed me. He did last season, just watching them a lot, and he's got a real good team spirit about him. But I always thought, are they going to have enough quality in certain areas? And then I've realised quite a lot of the sides I didn't know a lot about. You think, oh, they're better than I realised. It'll be interesting to see how they do in January as well, because they've got the most players going to AFCON. So it'll be interesting if they feel like they've got enough depth for that, or they then go again. It will be really interesting, mate. But they've put themselves in a position where, they can kind of just have no fear in every game, because as long as they're going to be fine. And it's almost like with Forest last season, where everyone's waiting for them to drop, and everyone keeps saying, "Well, Sunderland will obviously drop." And every time I watch, I think, "I'm not sure."
Will they?
I'm not sure.
Well, their slogan is "till the end," and that was certainly apt with the way they got promoted. I mean, their journey last season was certainly an adventure, wasn't it? So they finished fourth, of course, 14 points below Sheffield United, who, of course, they met in the final. On the way to that, of course, they beat Coventry over 2 legs, and even that as well, I sensed it was going to go to pens. But they scored last minute, didn't they, to equalise, which, because of the fortune of their 2-1 win in the first leg, meant that they got to Wembley. They were loud, they were proud, and then again late, it was almost the last minute. Brilliant. Tom Watson with a Kiefer Moore mistake, wasn't it?
It was, of course it was, And Tom Watson, that was his last game for the club.
Yeah, because he was always going to Brighton for 10 mil, I think.
So that was mad. But I was really pleased for him. I mean, I wanted them to come up, but it was them against Sheffield United in the final, and they done really well. It's a shame for Kiefer, but I think it was in that game, it was Kiefer Moore and Chris Mepham against each other, wasn't it? So
shame also for our pockets with the amount of travel expenses that we have to make to go up there. But it's fine.
Yeah, just Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland is definitely the 3 you want to come up if you're a little southern softy, and God. But no, I was really pleased for them. It's nice to have them back in the Premier League. They've been a great addition so far, haven't they?
They have, and we need to talk about the signings that they got through the door, mate, because they certainly, we'll talk about their departures shortly, but through the door, mate, some big names and some really astute signings as well.
Yeah, definitely. Really. I mean, obviously they made the Enzo Lafay one permanent, which I think they're always going to do. Do you remember when we were linked with him for a little bit, because he's from Lorient?
Yes, I do.
Who's one of our sister clubs, or whatever you want to call it. But he come in on loan, and they got him done, which was impressive. I thought Dingle was a really good sign. He hasn't come to his own yet, but from Brighton, I always liked him to play Brighton. I was surprised they let him go. I think Xhaka was the absolute masterclass.
What signing he's been?
Yeah, unbelievable. I can make a claim to say he's been a signing of the season, in my opinion. Bit of leadership in there, proper player for Sunderland. He feels like a Sunderland player as well.
Yeah, he does.
The goalkeeper I knew nothing about, Rose, he's been unbelievable as well. It's like, feels like everything's just worked. I think Robbie's going to be a handful. He's just starting to come in now. Bertrand Traoré was at Villa before, so they've got a bit of Premier League experience in there. And I like that. I'm not great at pronouncing it, but Gertruda, I think his name is, at the back. He's been really, really good. He was linked with quite a few clubs, and Sunderland are the ones that got him. And he's really impressed. And all of them have worked really well.
They have. So going out then, a few big names as well.
Yeah, well, obviously we said about Tom Watson, which got him a bit, but it was the Bellingham one that got him the money, wasn't it?
I mean, did they retire the shirt number?
Yeah, I don't think so. They're not as they're not as sad as Birmingham. But I don't think he's settled in great there. But obviously Joe going down his brother's route, but that was a big chunk. So I think when you see all the signings and you go, God, 5 million there, 10 million there, you go, they got over 30 million for Bellingham. So that was always going to help them. I think they let a few I think it happens a lot when you go up. There's always fringe players you think you're not going to be ready for the step up.
Yeah.
And there was quite a lot of them. I think Patrick Roberts, Adam Brown, there was a few of them that you thought not going to quite make the step up. But really, they just strengthened so impressively, I felt.
Yeah, so the total spend for summer 2025 was £162 million. The income was 50, so that's total profit and loss of minus 111 probably equates to the same amount of prize money that they'll gain. So
I was going to say, yeah, it's the most expensive one in football at a playoff final, the Championship. So they've certainly gone, right, you can go and spend that. But yeah, fair play to them.
So between AFC Bournemouth and Sunderland, I think out of all the teams in the Premier League, we've probably played them the fewest amount of times.
I would have thought so.
We'll have to go over our head-to-head shortly, but there, I suppose, mate, are a few memorable games, not least our first ever Premier League win at Dean Court.
Yes, our first home Prem win, yes.
Do you remember that one?
Oh, I remember the Richie chest. Oh, my favourite. I know the Daniels one always wins the votes.
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
The technique on that. So that was the second goal in that game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, he chested it. Was it Callum Wilson scored the first
one? Yeah, it was. Yeah, early doors as well. I think it was a kind of shot inside the penalty box, low shot.
Yeah, and then Kabul got sent off. I remember he had a right torrid time against Callum.
Wow.
But yeah, that Richie Chester volley was unbelievable. I remember that. And then I remember going... That's what I mean about how little we've played them, because I've been to Stadium of Light twice. I don't think I've ever had a chance to go again.
So what happened in the reverse fixture that first season?
Our first season in the Prem?
Yeah, at their place.
At their place we beat them, didn't we? No, we didn't.
Yeah.
First season in the Prem, we drew 1-1. And it was just after, it was in January, I think, we just signed Belikofobi, and he scored a really good header.
I cannot remember that.
I think it was Patrick Van Aanholt for them.
You're joking, mate.
I think. But yeah, I remember thinking it was a good point against them there. And it was the following season, wasn't it, that we
actually lost at home.
Yes,
2-1,
right.
But then
Defoe scored a penalty.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, he did. But then we won away in the match that effectively relegated. Well, it did relegate them.
Yeah, I think they were virtually down with a draw, but then right at the end, Josh King scored, and that finished them.
Yeah,
and that kind of relegated them, as you say, mate. But yeah, so I've been there a couple of times, and we've never lost up there. So I've always left happy. That's what I can remember.
So that game against them ended their 10-year spell in the top flight. And of course, David Moyes.
Of course it was
manager. And you know who? Two ex-Cherries off the top of my head were playing for Sunderland that day.
Well, I'm guessing Defoe.
Yeah.
John O'Shea.
Yeah.
John O'Shea at the back. Yeah.
Bang on.
Yeah, that was his sort of time.
And you know what? This has inspired me. We haven't done this for a long time because we did it all last season, but Sunderland, newly promoted side, played for both. I might give you a challenge of a certain number of players.
Give me a number. Because I've got two. I've got two in the bag there.
You know what? I'm going to be conservative. Oh, no, actually, there's a couple. No, 6.
Okay, well, I've got two in the bag there.
Yeah.
Defoe and O'Shea. Am I having them?
Yeah, you can have them.
Chris Mepham, as we mentioned, because he had the loan there. Little robot, though, I'm pretty sure Antoine Semenyo was there on loan.
Yes, he was.
Antoine Semenyo. Kenwyn Jones.
Yeah. Is that it? No, one more, is it?
Ian Hart. Yeah, that's a 6. Ian Hart definitely played there. Oh, the one that's been everywhere, Lee Camp.
Yes, look at this. We've got the full list here. Grabban. So we've got Lee Camp, Jermaine Defoe, Lewis Grabban, Ian Hart, Kenwyn Jones, Chris Mepham, John O'Shea, and Mark Wilson's the one you're missing.
Is that the only one I forgot? So
That's the only one that you've forgotten.
They're all quite relatively big names, though.
So we haven't even got an 11.
I can't believe I forgot about Grabs, because do you remember Sunderland Till I Die? The Netflix documentary.
Yes,
Grabban's an absolute rat.
Yeah.
Absolute rat on there, wasn't he? But so we haven't had many games for him. We haven't had many players play for both.
Now, I forgot that when they went down to the Championship, of course, when we relegated them, they also went down to League One as well for a bit.
Yep.
What a massive club to be. Surely has to be one of the biggest clubs to be in League One ever.
Yeah, it was absolutely mad. And like I say, go back to that, I think a lot of people will remember it from the Netflix doc. And it was crazy, some of the names they had there. And it's when you realise, when you go behind the scenes, you think some of these bloody players that have been part of getting them relegated, not been good enough, and they just won't leave.
Yeah.
So remember Jack Rodwell?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was on an absolute fortune, just not playing, going, I ain't leaving. And then you had Darren Gibson was out Pierce saying stuff. It was absolute carnage, wasn't it?
I'm just intrigued. For the first time in a long time, I almost want to get to the stadium early just to see how they're ramping up the crowd. Sunderland Till I Die sketch. We need a bit of passion.
Yeah, I can't remember what he tried to get going. Okay. Wasn't it like The Apprentice?
Well, yeah, that's what they had before.
Yeah.
But they were thinking of trying to reinvigorate the atmosphere. What have they gone with?
We're going to have to.
That's not still a thing, is it? That programme's not. It was just a couple of series.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Bloody loved it. Now, you mentioned Enzo Lefebvre earlier from Lorient. Of course, his move might have been helped by the fact that their manager was at Lorient before. And Sunderland fans, in case you might not know, Lorient are one of our sister clubs in the multi-club model. Hence, I thought we might have had first dibs, but obviously, for the player, he obviously wanted to maybe reconvene with him, perhaps?
Yeah, potentially, mate. And he was always touted as a really top player. So when they got him on loan in the Championship, it felt like a real coup, and they've managed to keep hold of him, and he stepped up to the Prem. But I'm not 100% sure. But was the gaffer at Lorient when we took over? You know what I mean? Well, I'm pretty sure he was there. He was the manager.
Yeah, so he was promoted to manage Lorient's senior first team in June 2022.
Yeah.
Of course, they did get relegated in his second season, as we know, but the first season, it was respectable mid-table finish. I think before that, we're just seeing what he did. He started his coaching career. How do you even pronounce that, mate? What? Yeah, okay. Well done, mate. Very good. And then joined the youth academy at Rennes as well before moving to Lorient as a player.
Yeah, was he a good player?
He played centre-back, like Stade Rennes, Stade Laval as well. He amassed 197 senior appearances, scored 2 goals. He did like no great shakes, but as a manager, certainly.
Yeah, he's looked brilliant.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the way they played in the Championship, but as we've alluded to, you never know what it's going to be like with that step up. But I think he's tactically been really, really astute with everything he's done. There was a time, this is before Sunderland, because obviously he's in the Premier Sunderland now. I think when we got Iraola, we all knew the ceiling that he'll probably have here and maybe I think it was, they were saying, the Lorient manager could be one that now that we might look at as but now he's obviously ended up getting a Premier League job anyway. But yeah, we probably... unfairly, actually, we talk a lot on here, don't we, obviously, about our gaffer, Iraola, and we often mention Glasner and these kind of coaches that are doing really well.
Why is he not mentioned?
Yeah, he probably should. But then I wonder if it's a compliment to them as to we go, because they're such a big club, he's already there. He's already at a big club, so he'll probably feel like he can get a lot further with Sunderland, whereas maybe Palace and Bournemouth, we feel like they're not as... Maybe it's that, but yeah, really, he should be thought about a lot, because currently, if you end the season now, well, he's in the running for manager of the season, isn't he? Definitely.
Big time. Now, at this point, we usually go through the last sort of 4 or 5 games with the opponents that we're playing, but Sunderland's season has been that good. We just need to talk through it from the very beginning. Look, 12 matches to go through, of course. There is a Carabao Cup as well. But, my God, what a first match for them, and that was against West Ham United at home. And they, I suppose, given how poor that West Ham have been, but it's maybe not that much of a surprise now. But, I mean, it was a statement at the time.
Yeah, and I always felt, I don't know what it is, but I felt Sunderland at home, back in the Premier League, first game, party atmosphere, they're definitely going to win that game.
Yeah.
I always had that feeling, and obviously they did. And then the Burnley one felt like, when they lost that, you thought, that could end up being a 6-pointer. And then just, it didn't transpire. Obviously, they had the cup game and stuff at Huddersfield, but then they beat Brentford, which felt impressive, went to Palace, good point. And I remember the Villa one, they went down to 10 men.
Wow.
In that Villa game, and you thought, Villa are going to have too much now. And Sunderland managed to get a point, won at Forest, and you thought, that's a statement. So then you have them results, you think, I reckon they'll go and win at Man U. And then they didn't. But yeah, backed up with a good win against Wolves. And then the biggest one for me, I felt, was going to Chelsea. I think they went behind.
That was a
late win.
Absolutely stunning result.
Pretty sure that was on my birthday. Pretty sure that was on my birthday, because we were there.
Yeah, you're right. But November, they haven't won.
No, that's true. They've had a couple of draws in there, but the Arsenal one just feels, I know it's not a win, but the way Arsenal look at the moment, you think, I watched that game and thought, Sunderland thoroughly deserved the point, so that was really impressive. The most surprising result of a long period was actually going to Fulham.
But the performance was bad as well.
And Fulham should have won by more, just looking at the stats and looking at the highlights. So that surprised me, because Fulham have been a little bit on a dip. So there's still maybe, it's whether you look at it as they need a reaction now. But I believe, having just had that brief look there, that they're unbeaten at home still.
Yes, they are.
So that's a worry.
They have actually picked up just 2 fewer points in 6 games at home than they did in the whole of their last top flight campaign, which shows you how good they're at. So yeah, they are also one of 3 teams, along with Arsenal and Manchester City, yet to concede more than twice in a Premier League match this season. The Black Cats, Robin Roos, the keeper that you've been waxing lyrical about, has the highest save percentage of any Premier League keeper this term of 79.3%. So they're certainly not a team that we're going to be our free scoring selves against, put it that way.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult one, mate. Very, very difficult one. But I don't know, you're going to give me some sort of head-to-head like before my time, because I certainly can't remember us losing there.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 11th match between us ever. Our first was in 1988. 8. But
so I'm right. So I'm born in 91.
Yeah.
So there has only been 4 games I've been able to go to anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So Premier League, League Division 2, League Cup, those are the competitions that we've met each other in. But I suppose you want to know what our record is away. Well, away in the league against Sunderland, Bournemouth have won 1, drawn 2, lost 1. In all competitions, 1-2, drawn 3, lost 5. Look, AFC Bournemouth fans, if you're watching this, I want to know in the comments whether you went to Roker Park or not. If you did, leave a little stadium emoji with whatever comment that you want to put. Feel free to comment, but do leave a stadium emoji as well. Or if you've got nothing to say, just whack a stadium emoji in. I'd love to know. I didn't go there either, but then maybe not surprised. 1990.
Oh, okay, so it was all the way back then, yeah.
So 1990 was the last time we played them, and that was at home.
Yeah.
So how are we going to beat Sunderland then, May? Well, we'll take a look at some average positions shortly, but we'll just take a look at some XG stats. It seems like they're overperforming, both in terms of XG, but also XGC. So looking at the last 4 games, 2 home, Everton and Arsenal, also away, Chelsea, Fulham, you can see their relative scores on screen on YouTube. One of the things that seems to be prevalent, at least recently, 5 different goal scorers in the last 4 games. So they like to share goals around the team.
Yeah, they don't look like they've got a player that's just they're reliant on.
No.
It feels like anyone can pop up with a goal, and they've got a few big nuts in there as well from set pieces, which always helps. But yeah, it does feel like they share them around quite nicely.
We've also got the average positions of the starting lineups for the last 4 games they've had. They've changed their setup to take the opponent into consideration. At home, they have played relatively high. I think it will be probably a little bit more in the middle of the pitch for this one against Bournemouth. But the formation against Arsenal is the weirdest average position I think I've ever seen, mate.
Yeah,
they're all on the halfway line, pretty much every player. What?
Yeah, they're definitely we see when we do these quite often. There's a real pattern, but with Sunderland, it feels like they're very adaptable to the game, as you say. So it feels like they adapt to their opponents, which I think we do a little bit as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, be really intrigued to see if they think, right, we can get Bournemouth, we can beat Bournemouth at home, or they think, okay, let's not press them too high. But it'd be interesting.
Cherries have had more attempts, big chances and a higher XG, although goals scored are equal. And in terms of possession, Sunderland have had 43% in the last 4 compared to AFC Bournemouth's 57. I think a large chunk of that probably from our West Ham game where we had like 75 almost. Yeah. The pass completion percentages are similar. Sunderland have been creating a higher proportion of chances from set pieces than AFCB and conceding a lower proportion of chances from set play. So they do appear to be well drilled from dead ball situations. One of the players that you mentioned, Granit Xhaka, he's been a very good signing for them. Yeah. Not only their captain on the pitch, he's this player that definitely makes them tick. Yeah,
it makes him tick. He's very solid and good defensively. I mean, we know he's on the 4 yellows, isn't he? And we were all look straight away after I think this says it all about him, is straight after our game ended against West Ham, I'm looking to see if Xhaka got carded, because that's how big I felt it would have been.
Huge.
We had a similar player with Tyler Adams, didn't we? Both had players that managed to avoid it, but yeah, he's good defensively, he's experienced, he's got a bit of leadership, but he also pops up with the odd strike as well. Passing range is very good. He's got a lot of things that he's really, really good at. That's the thing. He's not just a one-trick pony, and as you say, he ticks them along nicely. And I think we'll try and get someone in that kind of 10 area for us, dropping deep and trying to harass him a little bit and make him worry about them. So we can't allow him to have time on the ball.
No, absolutely not.
And let him just start, like you say, making them tick and stuff. So we're gonna have to really press him. But I'm interested to see if we can really get at him, because he's a top player. If you let him have too much of the ball, we can dictate again.
Now, concentration is going to be key during this game, because Sunderland are a second half team. No side's Premier League games have seen fewer goals than Sunderland's this season. That's 25 in total, right? So that's 14 for, 11 against. Just 8 of these have come in the first half, which is also a league low figure. So most of the action seems to happen in the second half, both scoring goals and conceding. So I'll tell you what, it's going to be one that goes till the end, as the slogan goes, at the Stadium of Light. And also, only West Ham's Premier League games have seen more goals than Bournemouth. We've been involved in 39 goals in our games this season, both for and against. It's going to be a very tasty one.
Should be a good one.
Team news. Right, so for Sunderland, a couple of players. They're all right, only 2 injured.
Yeah, Diarra is still out, and Alessi, who doesn't play loads anyway. So yeah, they're in a decent spot, Sunderland. As I say, Xhaka managed to avoid the yellow as well, annoyingly.
For Bournemouth?
Yeah, I mean, we got a few that we're not sure about. I mean, we know Gannon Doak's going to be out. Sounds like he had his surgery and it all went all right. But obviously we've decided to do that he'll be out for longer than if he didn't have surgery, but it was a successful one. And then we're going to be waiting on Semenyo and Clive. I don't think Clive is going to be ready for this one, but looks like we're hopeful that Semenyo will, which will obviously be massive for us. And apart from that, we're seeing a better place now. We now look obviously getting back up to speed, which is really good for him. So yeah, I feel like Smithy's okay because he'd come on for a little bit. So yeah, we're not in a too bad spot, but obviously a lot of it relies on how fit Semenyo is.
I just wonder if Sunderland fans are looking at Antoine Semenyo like we look at Morgan Rogers, because Antoine Semenyo failed to score or assist in 7 appearances for Sunderland in League One. And now 5 years later, he is like the talk of the town. I know.
It's crazy, Semenyo's rise, isn't it?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, fair play to us.
You talked about the yellow card count for Xhaka and hoping that he registered one more. He didn't. What about ours at the moment?
I mean, Adams avoided it, as I say, which was a bonus, but that means obviously he's on the title before, as is Marcos Senesi, as is David Brooks, as is Alex Jimenez. Trofe's now up to 3. I feel like Semenyo might be on 3 as well. So yeah, I think the concern of that is you think 4 players on 4, you've got a lot of games. I feel like there's a very good chance they'll all get one before the reset, probably at least 3. I think the key now is to not get them in the same game. Because we'll have to cope with losing one of them for a game. But if all 4 of them get booked on Tuesday, we're like, oh no. But we're getting to a place now where I feel like one of them will be around the corner, mate. But it's what it is.
Hopefully it won't be Senesi, because he's a baller, mate.
Oh, he was at the Baller League, wasn't he? Why was he at the Baller League?
So I've been watching Baller League, right? Tom, you cannot stand it, can you?
When I say I can't stand it, I haven't watched it.
Him and Kelsey went on Monday.
Not me, Marcos and Kelsey.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited, sadly.
Yeah. You're not a fan of it whatsoever, are you?
I can't. It was, to be fair, you say you like the footballing of it. I've just seen the clips that are just like...
It's like Nico in a coffin.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And then you'll see...
KSI running around.
Yeah, and then you see like KSI running around. I go, what's Jack Cole back playing? I mean, he's an ex-Sunderland as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems very bizarre for me.
And you know that we were saying that there are certain types of player that you just know will end up in Baller League. And we were talking about Jordan Ibe the other day. He's actually done it.
Has he?
He's done it.
What, already?
I found out today he's done it, and we were thinking he's so primed for Baller League.
I think everyone's we'll have to do that at one point, like Bournemouth players past and present versus so Baller League. Because I think, and I want to give him a shout out for scoring this week, Daniel Jefferson, who scored at Watford, which I loved. He's reeks of Baller League when he's older. Reeks of it.
Right, let's do teams then. We got Sunderland in a sort of, a 3-4-2-1 by the looks of it then.
Yeah, it's difficult to do them, but as I say, I think they'll be in that sort of setup. Roche will obviously be in goal. Mukiele, Ballard and Gertruda will be the back 3, being pretty consistent with that. Hume, who's been good for him, he come up through the championship with him. I thought it might be tough for him, but he's looked good. He'll be on that right side. Reynaldo or Mandava. I don't know his name's Reynaldo Mandava. On some things, on some things he's called Mandava. I don't know exactly what Sunderland fans call him.
Is this like a Philip and a Billing situation?
Yeah, but he'll be on the left side for sure. Siddiqui will partner Xhaka. Lefay will play kind of off that left side, and I think it's going to be Bertrand Traoré. It wouldn't shock me if it's a Dingra, but I'm going to go with Bertrand Traoré, and then Isidore I still think will lead the line. They've got Mayenda as well and Brobby, but I'm going to go with Isidore up top.
So they haven't got a single Englishman on the pitch by the looks of it?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it's not a bad shout actually. Yeah, Ballard's one that, you know, when you always see it when someone comes out of nowhere. I can't remember who it was, but it was someone on the TalkSport, I think, was saying about how good Ballard's been. Why is he not in the England squad? And everyone's going along with it, and then going, he's Northern Irish. He's played for him he's played for him loads.
It's just like that guy called up that Scotland for Anthony
Amy. Yeah. I remember Harry Redknapp said it once about Wes Morgan, who'd already played for Jamaica.
Oh, brilliant. All right, Bournemouth then. Let's see what we got in 4-2-3-1. Difficult, of course, because we're recording before Andoni says his stuff. So what were you thinking?
Well, I think Petro would definitely be in goal. I'm going to stick with Lewis Cook at right back because I thought he was brilliant. I know he's brilliant when he comes inside as well. But I think Cookie's start there and then...
Do you think he's better playing almost like the second half of games in that position, like if we need to?
Because of his pass away, but then what I did say, I know he moved inside. What I liked was Jimenez off the bench, actually.
Okay,
in the last game. So,
okay, fair.
I'm going to stick with Cookie there. We keep changing it. We keep saying we don't want to change it, but I'm going to bring Milo back in, Milo Savlovic. I don't think the Akita, he wasn't like awful or anything, but I've thought for a long time away at Sunderland. I want Milosavljevic there. Yeah. He'll part of Celestia, I'm sure. Trafair at left back. Again, not Alex Scott's fault. He's been brilliant for us, but I can't go to Southern away without Ryan Christie.
No, oh God, you cannot.
He was brilliant when he came on. I want him in there.
Him and Tyler Adams.
I'm going to go with him and Tyler Adams. Even if he decided to play all three of them, I'd be okay with that. But I want them to. So I think Scott will come out. I'm going to stick with Brooksy off that right. Going to play Semenyo off the other side. I think he'll be okay. Put Tav into the 10. I think Tav will be one that they'll go, right, be busy around Xhaka.
Yes, yeah.
And then I know a lot of people are talking about, obviously you now come off the bench, which is great. Krupi looks good, but I'm going to stick with Evan Nilsson to start again.
That's a very industrious three of Tavernier, Adams and Christie, and hopefully that can match the work rate of Sunderland central players. David Brooks has actually had more shots without scoring than any other player in the Premier League this season. Just 4 of his 19 attempts have been on target.
Surprised me, because Brooksy's like one of them players that you don't think he's ever like panicky.
I don't.
He's had a few where he's like scuffed.
And a few block shots as well.
So I feel for him, because it's not like he's had any sitters.
Yes.
But maybe that's a little thing of, it's coming.
Do you see that really interesting stat about players born on the same day?
Oh, literally. I just went on my phone 2 seconds ago because I wanted to remember it to tell you.
I've got it for you. So what was it again?
So when Marco Senesi set up Enes Unal.
So, the baller setting up, our baller, yeah.
Yes, Marco Senesi assisted Unal. They're both born on the 10th of May, 1997.
Right.
And they became the 3rd pair born on the same day to have assisted each other for Premier League goals.
So who were the other two?
They're not going to like it, but it was for Newcastle. It was John Joe Selvey and ex-Ches Callum Wilson. They're 27th February 92. And Man City's Kevin Horlock and Paul Dickoff, 1st November 1972.
So in the Premier League era, what was the Premier? Is Shelvey, 1992? Shelvey and Callum Wilson? That's when they're born, of course.
Yeah, that's when they're born. That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And Kevin Horlock and Paul Dickoff. I wonder when that happened.
Yeah, that would have been just into the Premier League, I reckon.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, I thought that we could have like a hand in every single Premier League.
That would have been nice. And the other one that I don't think you've got, that I just got to repeat again, it's not Sunderland, but Callum Wilson. I thought that was brilliant stat of the weekend. I think I sent you it. That Callum Wilson's the first player ever in the Premier League to score 2 goals but not make a single successive pass in the game. And when I thought about it, I thought, he didn't actually... Yeah. If I think about Callum's performance against us, scored 2 goals, what else did he do? Nothing.
That's mad.
Obviously, he come off quite early in the second half, but mad little stat that. I like that.
Tom, do you want to know who the referee is?
I'm getting annoyed if you ask me, actually, because they're all absolutely... I watched all the highlights of the Premier League at the weekend. Every single game... Absolute stinkers everywhere.
Tim Robinson is in charge. He took our away game against West Ham last season.
What was that? I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. So, match predictions then. Let us know what you're thinking in the comments. Remember to leave a little stadium emoji if you went to Roker Park as well. Before we come to Tom with his, just a couple of stats to throw in. Bournemouth have lost 4 of their last 7 away games, as many as we did in our previous 18 on the road. They've lost their last 2, last losing 3 consecutively in November 2023. So it's a November thing.
Oh, shut up.
Also, another one, this is the one for Sunderland fans. They've lost 299 of their 620 Premier League games, and defeat here would see them become the 9th team to suffer 300 defeats in the competition. It would also be the fewest games to 300 losses as well, a record currently held by the Cottagers.
Yeah, lovely little stat, mate.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, some of them stats, I was thinking about that away one because it looks quite bad, and I go, we've already been to the Etihad. We've already been to Liverpool. We've already been to Villa Park. Now we're going to say, that's some tough away games. I
genuinely think we'll win. I genuinely think we'll win.
I don't know if I like it when you're like this, though. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know after. I'm going to be a bit more conservative. I think it's a really difficult place to go. I think that.
Oh yeah, it's a hard place to go, but I think we'll win.
I think they're a top side at home. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, we'll win in 2-1. Semenyo scoring the winner. There you go.
Well, happy days.
It's happening. Anyway, let us know what you think. Make sure you put it in there. And look, Sunderland fans, make sure you do subscribe. We would truly appreciate your support. I'm sure we'll have a good time. Do we know what pub we're going to yet? I don't know if we do.
No, there's quite a lot of options, I think, which is lovely. They're not like Villa and Wolves, they don't even give us one. I like going even further north. Oh, it's such an early start for me.
Yeah, what time?
I'll leave it at 5.
Oh, tasty. Safe travels, Cherries fans, and we'll see you up at the Stadium of Light.
Up the Cherries. Newcastle lost again this week, by the way. Click that subscribe.
Nick Pope.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, they've got to play Ramsdale at some point.
Yeah, they have to.